morning, students. I welcome you all to a new lesson of your syllabus that is Into the Wild, which is from the Unit 1 and the chapter number is 6, written by Kiran Purandare. Now, as you all know that we have already completed many of the lessons of your 12th standard syllabus, and we really hope that you are making the best use of the material that is being provided to you, the notes, the chapters that are being given to you. Because due to this pandemic, we cannot resume the classes right now, but as it is a very important year for you, your board exams, so I think you have to keep in mind and you have to prepare very well for your English exams. Each chapter we bifurcate into three videos, and uh, detailed explanation is given for that chapter, and even the question and answers, the grammatical topics that are given, even those are discussed. So we expect you to make use of the notebook and textbook. I hope you are ready with your textbook. Let's open the chapter Into the Wild, and keep your textbook in front of you along with me, and let's start. Whatever new words, my dear students, that you're going to come across, I want you to write down the meanings of those words. It will be really helpful for you to learn and to understand the chapter very well. Okay? So let us begin with the chapter Into the Wild, written by Kiran Purandare. Now, as you all know, that the writer who has written this lesson, let us know more about him. Into the Wild by Kiran Purandare. Now, the writer of this lesson, let us know something more about the narrator of this lesson. Kiran Purandare was born in 1961. He studied environmental science at Jordan Hill College in Scotland. And he is a very renowned writer, and he has received many prestigious awards such as Sahitya Puraskar, then Pune's Bhai Madhav Bagal Award, and Best Literature Award for his writing Sakha Nagzira. Now, he spent 400 days inside a forest, the Nagzira forest, and there he has written a book called Sakha Nagzira. And this lesson that we are going to study, it's an excerpt of that. It's a part of that book written by Kiran Purandare. Now, Kiran Purandare is not only a writer, but he is a wildlife expert, a bird watcher, and a honorary wildlife warden in Maharashtra. Now, my dear students, let us know something more about the writer and then move on to the main lesson. Now, as we all know that he is very fond of environment. He's an environmentalist, and he has done a great contribution to the wildlife. And he has written, his writings speak more about him. He is also the founder of Nisarga Ved organization, which works for nature conservation and community work around Nagzira, Navegaon, a tiger reserve in Bhandara and Gondia district of Maharashtra. He also founded Kika's Bird Club in order to spread bird farming, which is very popular among school-going children of Maharashtra. Now, my dear children, we already learned about the writer. Now, this lesson, Into the Wild, is divided into two parts. This excerpt is taken from his award winning book, and this is a real life incident narrated by the writer himself. You know. Now, what are we going to learn in this chapter? In this lesson, we are going to see a real life incident which has happened with Kiran Purandare when he got stuck into the forest and he lost his way back home. Now, because he is an environmentalist, now these people have to go to the jungle or in the wildlife to study the environment around them. Okay, he's a bird watcher, and because he had to do some research, they have to go to the wildlife to study the resources over there, to study the wildlife over there. And on one such occasion, when he had gone to the jungle, unfortunately, he lost his way back home. Now, for example, imagine if that happens with you and I. If we get stuck in the jungle with the wild animals around, with the leopards, with the tiger, with the cheetah, with the bears, what would be our situation? Oh, that's horrific. We cannot even imagine the situation that the writer has happened. So, this extract, and especially the part one, is an very good narration by the writer, his real incident that he is sharing. And it is really terrific when he is sharing it with the minutest detail that happened with him. So, the first part is an amazing experience that the writer is sharing with us. You know, he's a solitary traveler. Solitary traveler means a traveler who is traveling alone. And he gets lost in the jungles of Umbarzara. Now, he narrates that what happens with him, that when he realizes that he has lost his way. Now, in jungle, in a heavy, big, dense jungle, it's very difficult for us to understand that, as we travel on the road, we have the signals and we have the nameplates so that we can understand or we can remember from which way we have come. It is not the same in the jungle. So, a very amazing experience shared by Kiran Purandare, where he's telling us about his experience. Shouting for help would literally mean crying in wilderness. Now, crying in wilderness means when he is lost in that jungle, it would be really, really difficult for him to shout for help because there would be nobody, literally nobody in the jungle to hear Kiran Purandare shouting. Because in a jungle where wild animals are there, people do not trespass. People do not go in there. Okay? So he gives a detailed description of how he found his way towards Pitizari. That is the place where he was staying. Now let us move on. Let us begin with the reading of the lesson Into the Wild. Part 1, which narrates that how he was lost in the jungle. Now, uh, it's very important, my dear students, that whenever you are doing a literature, when you're studying languages, you should be there, we should be ready with a pencil to jot down the difficult words or the phrases that we are going to explain while teaching. 8.5 hours long inside the hide was a fruitful as the jambu tree standing tall on the edge of Umbarzara. Before wrapping my day on this natural waterhole, I took entries of avifauna in my field notes. Since I was alone, I rushed to Pitizari village where I was stationed. Now, the narrator was staying in a village called Pitizari. Now, this village was close by to the jungle. So, he had stayed or he had taken a room over there and he was staying there in the Pitizari village because it would be easy for him to travel to jungle every day and take notes of whatever he was preparing for. I camouflaged the hide. Now, hide is the artificial, a temporary home that they build to stay in the jungle to protect themselves from the wild animals. I lifted my camera bag and took a familiar trail to Pitizari. Now, after he had done his work, he started moving to his Pitizari village because it was getting late because it would get dark soon and then it would be difficult for Kiran Purandare to go back home. And as he started moving, he packed up his things that were there, his camera, his notebooks, his tiffin bag, and he started treading cautiously from the woods. Now, cautiously means carefully, because he was always mindful of that he is in a wild jungle where he would anytime come across a wild animal, so he had to be very careful of not to make noise or give hint that a man is there in the jungle. Walking alone in the jungle needs more alertness than walking with companion. Now, because he was all alone in the jungle, he had to be all the more careful. Because if two people are there, someone would come and help them. But because he was all alone, he had to be very careful of how he was taking his putting his steps forward. I was alone here like a fox. Now, if you see, this line is in bold letter because it's a phrase and it has a meaning over there. Now, why he was alone like a fox, why he was not there like a donkey, or why he was not there like a lion. Now, a fox is that animal that it usually stays alone. It goes to hunting by itself. And because the writer also has taken this journey all by himself alone, he had come to jungle alone, so he compared himself with a fox. I was alone here like a fox. Following the trail silently, watching wide open eyes, my ears were grasping for a variety of sounds when a similar sound stunned me. Now the real suspense begins. Now he has already started his journey back to Pitizari village. Now where is writer going? He's going back home to Pitizari village. Now when he was moving, he suddenly hears a distinct sound of an animal. Kyak, kyak, kyak. So now it was a langoor's alarm call. A langoor is a monkey, a type of a monkey. Now, alarm call. What do you mean by an alarm call? Not the clock that rings in our house. It's an alarm clock that wakes you up. Alarm call is a call given by animals that they give when they feel some danger is nearby. Alarm call. They make their friends or they make the other animals alert about it. Birds and animals use this technique of giving alarm call. That means a particular continuous call where they are making their fellow animals aware about a danger that is going to come. Now the rider had understood that the langurs are giving alarm call. The langurs are shouting in a different tone, not the one that they normally make, because there was a danger coming around. Now, because one langur started giving calls, the rest of the langur brigade, the rest of the monkeys also started making these types of noises. Now, it was not the regular call. Now, let me give you an example. Now, especially when you have a pet dog in your house, the normal barking is different, but when a stranger comes home, his barking is different. The owner immediately identifies that there is a stranger at the door or at the gate, and we understand that someone has come. So there is a difference in the shouting of the animals also. The network of alarm calls was expanding as the range of petrified langurs speeded up. This call given by the monkeys was speeding up. That means the danger is coming closer and closer, and these monkeys all climbed the top of the tree. All this upheaval was created by only one animal's presence. Now, all this was happening because of one animal who had come into the picture, and that animal was a leopard, okay, or the cheetah as we know him. Many animals make alarm call when they see a predator. A predator is a hunter. The people who come, the animals who hunt. Now these animals give this alarm call when a big wild animal has come and there is a danger for the life of these smaller animals. The mighty elusive leopard of Umbarzara was out of its lair. Now, out of its den. This leopard has stepped out of its den, and now this leopard is come out for hunting. He was on prowl. The steadily moving figure in spotted gold black cloak was spied by these langurs. Now, these monkeys are always, usually they sit on the top of the trees, and they had spied or they had seen this leopard entering into the jungle. Chuck, chuck. I stayed put. Now, I stayed put here means staying put means to stay where you are. Underline it and write it down. Staying put here means staying where you are. Okay? Without moving. Gotch the leader langur target site and scanned the area visually. Took some steps and stopped again. Now the writer cannot move ahead. He has to see from where the danger is coming towards him. So he kept looking at the langurs that from which direction are they looking while they are giving the alarm call. And so the writer stopped after moving few steps ahead. A fresh scat was lying before me on the trail. Now scat means animals dropping, the waste of animals. Okay, and it was fresh because maybe that animal has, left that scat there, and the flies were hovering around that waste of the animal. I was sure that the leopard was somewhere near. Now you imagine the narrator is all alone by himself in this wild jungle without any companion, without any weapon to protect himself, because he is an environmentalist. He had gone to do some research or do study about the nature in the wildlife. And he was really terrified, as you and I would be if we had to face a similar situation of getting stuck into a jungle or the danger of meeting a leopard. I barely walked 15 meters and stopped. I had apparently entered Sanctum Sanctorum, a miracle called leopard. Now, Sanctum Sanctorum means, actually the word means the holy of the holies, a very sacred place. But here it means a very, very private or a secret place where he shouldn't have entered, but he has entered into that place. That means he had entered into a secret place of the wild animal. But the big cat was not visible. The big cat here stands for leopard. The leopard was not to be seen by the writer. It was an elusive animal. As I moved forward to trail or to Pitizari, the fading alarm calls were still heard in the background. Now, the alarm calls were fading. Fading means the the shouting of the langurs had reduced. Maybe he has come a bit far from that place. I could still instinctively that the leopard had moved away. Now the monkeys had stopped or reduced their call because the leopard might have gone away. Meanwhile, I saw a man standing at a distance with a stick in his hand. As I approached, he appeared spooked. Now, spooked here means frightened. Underline it and write. Just make a note in your textbook. Now, he met another man after moving on a particular distance, and even that man was afraid. That man looked frightened. We greeted each other. We met each other. He was Raju Iskape from Pitizari. He was from the same village from where the writer is right now living. And why he had come there? He had come to collect wood. He had come to collect logs for firewood for some household work. But because of the alarm calls of Langur, even he got scared and he stayed where he was. Raju was amazed at my regular solitary visits to Umbarzara, the heaven of tigers. Now, the heaven here means the place of refuge, the place of staying of the tigers. Now, this localite, Raju was a localite of Pitizari village, and he was really amazed at the daring or at the courage that Kiran Purandare always showed in going to the village solitarily. Solitarily means alone, akele. It's not easy to go into the jungle. Most of the people, if they go to just travel or just for sightseeing, they carry their guides, they carry some safety measurements, or they carry some more people around. They never go alone. But Raju was amazed. Raju was really amazed at the courage of Kiran Purandare. Now they both felt a bit secure because they both met each other. Until now, they were afraid because they were all alone in that big Umbazara jungle. Now they were four hands, four legs, and four eyes. That means two is always better than one, they say. So in case if they face any danger, there would be a help for each other. There was one tiny track that broke out of the main trail. I will take this route. You go straight, said Raju, and turned right. Now Raju had to go into the jungle, and the narrator Kiran Purandare was returning home. So Raju told him that I will go this way, you go that way. That way takes you to home. I kept walking straight until I climbed a familiar hillock. I passed the cement pillar and stones stacked by forest department to mark the boundary of forest compartment. Stacked means a number of things arranged in a stack in a proper manner. Soaked in my own sweat. Now, why he was soaked in his own sweat? He was tired of walking. And due to heavy sweating, because of the tiredness and because of his sweating, he was literally wet. I felt like shouting to my heart's content. He just felt like shouting loudly. It happens with us also. But there was no other soul to listen to my sound in this wilderness. I had two bags with me. The Shabnam bag having the camera and small colorful handmade bag used in village to carry tiffin. The tiffin still had some stuff, but I didn't feel like having it. The blossoming boxwood trees, the boop boop sound of the cockle bird, the song of robin bird all appeared alien to me. Now, because he was lost in that big Umbarzara jungle, he didn't feel like eating something. He just wanted to go back home. It was more than an hour, and I was still searching for a suitable tree to climb and get secured. No, he wanted to go back home and he was not feeling safe in that jungle. Turn back to the trail you left. What my mind was telling me. His sixth sense or his mind was telling him you have to turn back and take the same road that you were following. Okay. I had no other way to climb the hillock before me. There were more hillocks and some appeared around the one I was standing. Near my feet was the dried up droppings of sloth bear. The sloth bear of Umbarzara must be out in the open sniffing for food. Now, the big bears were also there in the jungle. The fresh droppings, the shit of the animal was seen by the narrator. Now, all these things hint that the animal has just gone by this place. Now, whenever you go to a wildlife sanctuary or whenever you go to such reserve to see the wild animals, even the tourist guys also guide us or they tell us looking at the footsteps whether the animal has passed by this trail or no. Similarly, even Kiran Purandare found out that the sloth bear is also out in the jungle because of his droppings. I cautioned myself. Caution means he was more careful that time, thinking of averting all sorts of eventuality. Averting means averting means to prevent any sort of possibility of danger. Okay, averting means टालना, कोई भी मुसीबत को टालना, and eventuality means संभावना. कोई भी मुसीबत को टालने की writer was making the best possible effort. I made a move. I ran down the hillock and I climbed at a frantic speed. Frantic means at a very high speed he ran and he climbed another hill there. The evening breeze flew through my wet, curled hairs. My stomach was aching. I kept walking in hope. Now he has been traveling a long time and he knew that he has lost his way because he has gone somewhere. He has just missed his track. After around 50 steps, I found a bright red soil trail. I found the silver lining on this trail. Now, finding a silver lining, the as the proverb goes that every dark cloud has a silver lining means there is always a ray of hope, even in difficult situation. So when the soil turned red, he understood that he is close by to the village. That was the silver lining for the narrator. That was a big consolation for me. That was a big, a positive sign for the writer that maybe I am very close by to the direction. My legs were trembling as I reached the top of the hill. I jumped with joy. I heard sounds of people talking in the loudspeaker. Now, as he climbed this hillock, he was able to hear the sounds of people talking on loudspeaker. Now, when you come to a village, the sounds of the people, that was the hint for the narrator that he has now come very close to the village. In a jiffy, I ran down the hill. Now, he had climbed the hill. Why did he climb a hill? Because he wanted to see which direction he should move further. And he was very happy when he heard the sounds of people. Struggled, I stood up and I decided which direction I have to move. Sorry. The signs of civilization were visible. Civilization means human settlements. The tiny, sleepy village of Pitizari was visible through green woods. The lantern of Rajiram Balavi's farm, the loudspeaker installed for someone's marriage were all clear in sight. Now he could see the village very clearly, and he was very overjoyed to come back safely alive to his village. First thing he did was he went and he took a bath. The shaking of the limbs had lessened a bit. Now, when your limbs shake when we are nervous, when we are scared, when we are frightened, when we are confused, our legs also starts trembling when we are nervous. So the stomach ache started again. He ate to the full and then slumped onto the cot. Slumped means he just jumped and he went to bed. Lying awake, looking at the star-studded sky, I spoke to myself. There still exists a jungle where we can get lost. Isn't this our good luck? Taken from Sakha Nagzira by Kiran Purandare. Now, here we come to an end of the first part of this lesson that we had taken up, that is Into the Wild by Kiran Purandare. Now, let me quickly revise and before I end, let me quickly summarize what we have just read in this extract. Now, Kiran Purandare had gone to the Umbarzara jungle for some of his research work, and there he gets lost into the jungle, and he has shared a wonderful experience of how he finds his way back. His slight encounter with that leopard the and the possibility of seeing a sloth bear on his return back home is all very beautifully explained and narrated in the first extract. In the next video, we are going to study the second part and the concluding part of this chapter, that is Into the Wild. I hope you all have understood and you have taken down the notes of your this lesson. Thank you very much.